Hi, Kevin Coop here, and this is FaceTime with the Content Guy. You know, shipping is on everybody's mind these days, right? It's the holidays. People are either sending things out or receiving them, and you want to make sure you get them on time and you get them in good shape. And oftentimes we're making decisions, do I want to go with FedEx or UPS or the post office? And you hope you make the right decision. And you know, we've had stories recently about some of the delivery companies, and it's always very interesting, and it shows you how the world is changing. Usually in the fall, you read stories about how they're all girding up and adding staff and adding technology and adding capabilities so they'll be ready for the holiday rush. And when you get to the holidays, it ends up, well, they're not quite ready for the holiday rush, and largely because things are just moving faster than they're prepared for. It shows you how e-commerce is growing and how people are continuing to use e-commerce and not going out to stores. I mean, it's a trend, and maybe they'll never catch up. But I was thinking a lot about it this week because I was talking to my younger brother, Tim, and he was telling me about an exchange he had at a FedEx office store near where he lives. And basically what happened was he was having a problem with a package. And they weren't sending it to the right place, and he was in the store trying to make sure they would send it to the right place. And they were giving him sort of a hard time, and the guy wanted him to, well, do it on the phone, because he just didn't want to deal with it. And finally, and Tim was getting more and more frustrated, and then finally the guy dropped the bomb. The guy behind the counter looks at him and basically says, telling him that he doesn't want to deal with it, says, "Hey, this is your package, not my package." It's unbelievable. I can't believe somebody would actually say that if they're in a service position. I mean, I would think in any kind of a service position job, the message you want to send to the customer is, I'm going to treat your package like it's my package. And it's even worse. It ends up the guy behind the counter is the manager. If this is how he's talking to the customers, can you imagine how he's poisoning the minds of the people who are working for him? I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, and listen, it's not just limited to companies like FedEx or UPS or whatever. In every kind of service business, whether you're in a supermarket or a clothing store, a convenience store, whatever it happens to be, you know, if you're selling products to food, let's say, to a customer, you've got to act, I think, like the food that you're selling them is going to end up on your table at night. That's the kind of care you have to take. If you don't take that kind of care, inevitably you're going to even give that customer a subpar experience. If you give them a subpar experience, they're going to look for something else. This is especially a problem if you're in the brick and mortar business, because the experience they may decide they want instead is the online experience, and that's not a good way to go. Listen, you know, it's a tough question. It's a hard thing to do with people when you're hiring them, but the beginning of the solution to it is to create a culture in which everybody knows exactly what service means. They know that they're going to treat the customer's problems, the customer's products, the products the customer's buying, like their own. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this Thursday morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.